Welcome, Niamgelegile. This is WVX TV podcast. Obviously, I'm sitting with the two of the greats, which is going to not make it too formal. We're gonna just chill, Namajans. We have a conversation. Hopefully, it will be interesting enough for everyone to sit down and listen. On the further left, the heavyweight champion of the world, DJ Mbuso. In the middle, I've got the welterweight middle class champion of the world, Brian Black. All these people don't need introduction. And me, I'm the host, Waxmas, DJ Wax. I'm known for Wax on, Wax off. Yeah, okay, I've got my guys here. We're going to try and make it not too formal. Sirring and emergence. Obviously, the simplest way to start a conversation is to get to know who you're talking to. What's up, DJ Mbuso? Fede?
I'm very well. My name is Mbuso Tulwana, and it's a great pleasure for me to be invited to have to do this podcast around my buddies. I feel very honored that you guys invited me. We've been trying this movement with other cameras and everything, but we're here, and we are going to have a discussion around what we love the most, and to be in just to be in this space,
man,
is an honor, basically.
Yeah, it's 100% an honor. Not everybody gets to sit with the Soweto's finest, so I feel very lucky right now that I'm sitting with two of the best.
No.
So good.
I think really it's the idea of just because individually everyone knows where the journey started, and it's always nice to have these conversations. And I think, like you said, we're just gonna have an easy conversation. And, we're gonna focus mainly on the guy on the left, who has paved way for a lot of us and throughout the country as well, because he started one of the biggest recording labels in the Southern Hemisphere, which we're gonna get into. We're going to talk about that later. But I think without wasting any time, we really just, want to take it back to the basics. We want to take it back to Orlando West, right? Because that's your hood, right? Yeah. That's where you grew up.
Where's that again?
Orlando West in Soweto. Come on.
Okay. Cool. No, we have to. Is this Orlando West in some part of the world?
Actually, right. There is Orlando in the US, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right. Orlando West is Soweto, right?
What's the difference between Orlando West and East?
One is on the west and one is on the east.
I think there's a road. Is there like a road between the
two?
Yep, there is a Orlando Somezi is from the east.
Yeah.
So is from the east. We from the west.
Nabo Mandela, so.
Nabo Mandela, so nabo Vilagazi, nabo like nabo Bishop Tutu.
Yeah.
That's the west.
Okay.
Nagabo Mbuso.
It's cheesy. Yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, it's the cheese. Yeah, it's cheese kind of west.
I
Yeah.
didn't get it. I was like, oh, okay, oh yeah.
And hence they have a mountain, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're taking it back to Orlando West, right? And I'm specifically looking at a young Mbuso, a 6-7 year old Mbuso.
Yeah.
What records are they playing at home? That remind you, that take you back to that space.
To the DJ self, or to just growing up in the
Just
hood?
growing up, just you Mbuso Dlali one pale kasi.
I want to learn to level Kurmoti one part.
Yeah.
Some of us come from a Soweto where there was no concrete road. They go to work.
Uthengisinkwa.
Truck yamalahle.
Yeah.
Stove ibulldozer. Kumele feed amalahle.
Truck yomlot.
Truck yomlot, So moving fast forward, and wonke umuntu okhula around yena usageleza ikazi before ugeleza esingamleni.
Yeah.
That's what you see every day. And some people start doing wrong things, like literally wrong things. Crime. I think our brothers, some of them that passed away, we should thank them. So a lot of people died on our journey to have the DJs, the clubs, some of the things that we have. The comfortability, which is at that moment when things happen, you actually don't think. Omunye umuntu yotshontsha same for ukuthi sonke kasi sibe mnandi. Uyangithola athi like ukuthi nje mabethi track iwile bese nonke namatiki amahle. It's you don't think about it like as it happens, you're not thinking the future. So when you ask that question again, Brian, what was I thinking when I was 6? When I was
I mean, for me, more than anything, it's really the music that's playing in the background.
In the background,
you know,
because in the background,
that creates a mood. It creates a sort of environment. As environment. What's playing?
Like the cinema, your sinyakas, especially when you say West, you know West. There's always international. Ama khudmana vangama ngama Cortina, ama Belina, lezemo like my hood West, abo sinyaka, abo kamazu, babuya. So they were doing their own thing. So if we can, when we speak about like how did I get into house music, but everybody else, there's Roberta Fleck, there's this and this and this and this playing. Tony Hathaway, you know that vibe, that disco, Gune Pelican around the corner, you see this whole movement from Estrati Namalahle, then now there's electricity moving fast forward very quickly, and you start seeing the change from 6, 7 years, especially that age, 6, 7 years old. These are the influences. I'm a khurtman, you know, things are changing, things are changing. You know, like that song, like things are changing.
I'm actually thinking of that song.
Things
now,
are changing. You know,
like,
is it? What is it? What is it changing for? Like, but our own direction, guti ini.
But could you feel the change?
Yep, because you see it every single day, like from skateboarding to this and to this and this.
Yeah.
Why did I get into music? Amakhutman Amaning would take me and say, because I love music, so my record you spin about tuning. But asan ezinye izinto Tate bangibiza Tate ezinye azikho because unqanywa sound yabo big John Tate bengibhumba mshaye John Tate mar bengigwala stage enough they call me big John Tate mar ngigwala but nje nginamandla manje nginamanye amandla like, and it takes some akhulumana abhaya out time to groom you into who you become, because your parents are at work. Like I said to you, your parents are at work.
So Selena Mahrutman.
Selena Mahrutman. Yeah, basikas. Babugi shy heist nje nplomile nje. Na cola like music. Eta mungani sound umuntu na turntable. Bastira wena but if I change the record. I'll change the record. I'll change the music has always been integral in most families in our hoods.
So can you safely say that that's how your journey started, like that sort of interaction na Mahrotman Tintano change the record. So that's where the inspiration
the inspiration of DJ
came. Okay.
Yeah, good Eta Tate Babshire Spinza abafuna ukufuna ukuthi ngiphuze bayangikhuza ukuthi ungaphuzi mara nje sana because ngithanda le number le sinini nje ngikuthola enye e1 irecord enye version ijump bese ngiyayiphindisela lapho ngiyayibuyisela ukuthi oh Tate into edlala ayiphinda yabo repeat ayiphinda Tate yeah yabo like yabo into le that's like DJing at an early stage akuna mixer akuna anything, it's just you playing
select
you're the selector basically. That's early DJing, so it grows from that. It grows from because kuleyo ndlu leyo kuhlela kugcwele abantu bayo split abazophana ngamateki yonke into highest abayenzile because it's just Robin Hood like the giving, but there's music, always music behind this whole rhythm. So when you grow up, you don't see what they're doing as wrong. You see what they're doing as something to help the community. Anyeke bakutshela ukuthi barofi kanjani mara mabona nje mabona ama record wena mina yini ngibonile ngibona nje bathi nje awubusu repeat our time. So I like being in this space, but they're saying to me, don't drink, don't do this. If you wanna keep playing that record, keep playing it. And that's that. And I just grew from that, you know, like to not even understanding what was happening.
Yeah, but what about home though? Was there like a hi-fi at home? Was this like when you get off the streets, were you still continuing in the house to be a select?
Khale kwelami ikhaya kudlalwa ichoir nyani kuyaculwa nje kucula ichoir akuna hi-fi ngibe west ngabo time la mezondi kune hi-fi manje
Ekhaya, Koko.
Gogo,
Yeah.
yeah, because I think Mokulika sometimes on my
Yeah.
family too.
Yeah, of course.
There's always the mother side and the
Yeah.
father side. So the disco, that whole disco, and I love disco till date.
Yeah.
It was the same type of rhythm, but ezondi, impilo sezondi for me, impilo ase west ayifani. Ubucheese ngapha. Ubucheese ngapha marngale, ubupantsula, brother, as ubukasi man, ubukasi that's something like it's a hard one to describe what ubukasi yini.
So
Because family inendlela yayo yokuphila. Ubukasi buyafana kahle kahle. Noma use west noma kuphi.
no muse Campton.
Noma use Campton ya buyafana. And
It's ghetto.
it's ghetto and ngalezo inkathi bekune community one ukuthi nje kunabantu abaspinayo, kunabantu abenza kanje. And abanye abantu mabe emsebenzini labantu abaspinayo yibo kahle kahle abenza impilo ijike kasi. La magrotman amaningi bewenza into is wrong. Yiwo akhulisa abantu abaningi.
So manje, where does the idea of, and like I'm gonna be where does the idea of wanting to become a DJ comes?
I mean, like many years later, when there's concrete and life has changed, I'd moved to the Eastern Cape in 1985 when we had riots like 76. I went to go live in the Eastern Cape, and I came back. Now Soweto's changed. There's concrete. There's this and there's that. Masengwera. Singulinyukeleza ekela zengamla and manje impilo yajika kancane yabona la manje lawa bendlela nonke manje sekune into engayibiza iclassism mar you know, like you start buying your own records, like ukuhlukana kwezinto angisesehulu ya Tate lana angikwazi ukuba ya Tate lana amakhotman lawa grand abhaya afahlakiwe awasekho yana la malide lawa awasekho. So the streets have changed. Some of them have died, but like la makhotman lawa awasekho.
And the same people that were putting you kule space city,
It's comfortable.
It's
Mnandi, asafani.
So Mbuso, now obviously now you know you've kind of finding a neck. You go, okay, actually I like this, I like DJing. Now obviously that entails you now starting this thing.
Yep.
Now, so where are you getting this music? Because obviously you have to buy it somewhere.
Yep. What year? 88, 89.
Yeah.
So 88, 89, like I said to you, now you go back to Soweto, there's concrete, there's no gangsters, life has changed.
Yeah.
You know, like you're going to different schools. Now house music is starting. Robert Owens, you know,
Yeah.
excuse me, you know, this, you like music. I like
Frankie Knuckles.
Frank, yep. Before you even know Frankie Knuckles,
Yeah.
you had to know some guy called Sesh and Kanyani. Sesh and Kanyani, mixtapes. Life has changed. There's no people. That whole gangsterism that I grew up knowing. When I came back from the Eastern Cape, it was not as prevalent. I say fashion anymore. I want to benz into ngendlela different. I want to segna mapesh, so segna zinto so keleza kule lezi.
Model C.
No, before Model C, nigga. Model C comes out in the mid
80s.
No, Boma 92. Model C comes after Nelson Mandela comes out of jail.
When you already bourgeoisie that time.
We were the privileged ones. We went to Kinney Center. We were selling mixtapes. But before I started selling mixtapes, so I had to learn the stripes of how now to sell music, because I'm so ingrained. House music, it wasn't house music. Remember, it was disco when I left before the SNK.
International.
Masengbe sekunabo international, sekunabantu abenza ipika, sekunabantu abenza sabona ama EV, ama.
And you do realize that we used to call it Ikwaito.
Ikwaito, yeah.
We actually called it Ikwaito.
No, it was
if you can recall, your house.
It was a house, yeah. House was called International.
From what I know, he even had a
international.
Yeah. No, we did call it Kwaito. He even had a graffiti thing in the pavement where he wrote Kwaito.
Kwaito, original Kwaito was international music, because there was no word for it. It is how we played international music, slowed down, So it was Ikwaito.
Kwaito was a more fitting name.
There was no Mendoza then. How does Mendoza come
Okay,
about?
are we talking 80s like bubblegum?
Like now we're talking so.
No, I mean
like Mendoza, like, same Mendoza. Sbu, the whole Chiskop rhythm.
Okay.
And you put Mutu swing next to it. Put Mutu swing next to Chiskop.
yeah.
How do they know that music?
But now, where are you buying this music, Mbuso? Because surely there were
look and listen. Look
in Hillbrow.
In Hillbrow, there were other record shops, but look and listen, especially for our age group, it was the easiest. There were other shops that were underground.
Not Kohino.
Kohino was one of them, but they weren't specializing in
dance music.
Dance music.
Yeah.
There was Rana, there was this, but as Sowetans, so this whole movement around Funde Pace, yabona gunabo Kini Center, gunama movement, gunabo Lee Club, before hip hop music. I'm saying dance music. So when you say Flaky Knuckles, Robert Owens, and when you listen to music around that time, when I went to Pace, I remember very well I'm gonna sweat.
Yes.
If you listen, and they were speaking about freeing South Africa. Freeing South Africa.
I've got that vinyl somewhere here.
Being in South Africa, this is what we're going through. This is revolutionary. The struggle. This is the struggle of this genre of music.
These were tunes that you were buying, right?
Yep. Ngamba no Lady Hillbrow, Tim. Vano Lady Hillbrow.
That's the
yeah.
Vano mo Lady.
Yeah, Vano Lady Hillbrow. Eta ufungenza na utam mina ngifuna ukuthi ngimbasha ngapha awuplome ye look and listen
because you know that you love music.
You love music.
Yeah.
So kumele ngitholele inamba because lento le ngikhule ngayo angithi ngitshele ukuthi ngina 6 ungiqalile wathi boku 6 sengiyazi ukuthi irhythm ukuthi yini hambayo. Do I know that I'm going to become a DJ? I really don't know. Mara ngathi like wonke umuntu ukholisa ukuthi kumele uye esikolweni wenze into kanje ufuna ukuba yini, and I'm lucky enough that at home bebangikudirect kakhulu ukuthi wena kumele nje ufunde isikolo. Ukhumbula ukuthi mawuku standard 5 or standard 6 standard 7 they like go to school. You haven't akunani ukuthi career path.
Marabombuso bayaspita. So how did you know about Robert Owens? Were the people that you were looking up to, were you listening to? Because I don't think radio was playing that music, you know, like they do now. So how do you know about Robert Owens? How do you know about Sweat? Are there people that you're looking up to?
AM.
Analog modulation.
Analog modulation.
Yeah.
Radio pop. Living in Jozi, radio pop.
Yeah.
Radio pop.
Oh, so radio pop was the one.
Yeah.
May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah. Both of them. Glenn Lewis.
So that's where you used to listen. That's where you used to hear the music. So you literally listen. You've got a pen and paper. Robert Owens. Okay.
Tape deck.
That's dope.
And now you find out
You're recording on the tape deck.
That's his own Shazam.
Yeah. Before we own the tape deck, because you have to own a tape deck. How do you own a tape deck when you're like I think I was 11, 10, 11. So now you research. I don't know how, but take research. There's a guy called Sesh and there's a guy called Kanyani selling this music. Before the records. Before it's like then you get into like now when you go to them, then you ask them, where do you buy your records? And I'm like, me, lucky cunt, because my mom takes me to this spot in Hillbrow. Yeah, I'm saying lucky cunt. Yes, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I get to buy the records. I can go back to them. I'm like, now
all I needed was a name.
Save it. I'll save it. Yeah. Now I've got the physical copy.
Who's this lady?
And they're like, who's this lady? Who's this lady? You know, and it just automatically grew from there. It grew from there. Like I started selling my own tapes. I started doing this thing, you know, like ngazama cheese at Jozi. So when about taking some mixtape, 20 rand, I can sell it for 30 because I know cheese boys.
So you were making mixtapes then?
Yep. I started making mixtapes when just before I left Pace, before I went to Mondio, and life started changing.
Wow.
Okay, so now that means now you have a hi-fi.
Yep. ngithenge kanjani Wex ngithenge kanjani thenga bo Bobby Brown mina ngishaya ama mixtape angafana ama Grootman a specific. That's why ngathi ama gangster like impila boganyana bebenza ama mixtape warehouse kuphela me, I understood the rhythm because rhythm. So I can make house mixtapes and I can make hip hop mixtapes. There was no quiet at that time. Yeah, when I live is a chiscop, and I'm sitting here like I'm looking at this. Woman was a monkey as a pace. It protection as a scale because it's scale sama panka.
So Bokeleza no Mandos.
Nope.
I don't think Mendoza would have been at pace.
pace.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Like.
Cheese boy.
Yeah. So like I'm a cheater like when you're about to Pem.
Pem the rapper.
Pem the rapper, yeah.
Malay.
Malay. So he wanted his own thing. He had his own crew. Abomandos, how much that buy? Like how much that buy? So Mark Valley Scala. I sent to this Scala. This is brand like we're like 11 years old. When you want to shy gymnastics, undosling, hashay gymnastics out time. And say, Mango, Ploma, like it protection. I say good. I'm not going to zone.
Yeah.
You silent take the Puma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maring nomang shay ngoma shabana okre.
Yeah. Kumashwana la.
Mashabana.
Tariana.
Yeah. Ngitaba nyang boni ngwethu be OS ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyipunk. So like now boombox how much that like this whole rhythm of dancing of dance music. Ukutemba kuhambe ugeleze Jozi ube namajita sejozi it was everything was just I just feel that right now everything was a layer to everything. But I've got a bigger movement. I've got niggas that can do shit that even Ingos as a Sacred Heart can't do. Umandoza. Ngikhumbula kwenye social. When you social umandoza ngiletha umandoza namajita nebhasi. Mfo umandoza washama amatamla. Like sekusibiza amatamla gymnastics.
So bova nomandoza.
Uphem ngithi mina itha leni bhasi. Cela nizokale nalo. Ngifuna ukubonisa bese intaza. Angithi yabona ukuthi kune segregation ukuthi intaza lezi. Intaza azibona nje nyathi cute umandoza namashita a stylish amazulu abuya mina ngibablakile Themba Smart Jackknife Zobo
Really?
Zobo amajita khuma mantata amajita baya like you know they're doing their own thing but I'm like you guys want to learn how to dance I'm going to show you other guys that can teach you how to dance how to do you understand what I mean? Never seen undosling especially undosling bekashaya angazi ibizwa le bench le gymnastics Lumtaga bese uyajiva like it's like okay so manje bazombona kanjani ngithi athi ngibafaka
isingane kuma social
yeah ngibakuma
so you were like a plug for amachita sejozi na wasekhasi you know you were
moving guys from gymnastics to
bayojiva you know
jiva and the comfortability yesingamla yabo because ngathi ukuhlela namanje sesina lonkinga le yokuringa like our township lingo nesingami ukuthi no san manje ngishela umntana lo ngizothini my name is Samantha akusesemthabise ngiphila masakhe
yeah khulise igeleze singamleni
no I'm
Sammy yeah
and who's this guy Mduduzi no it could be Mdu
yeah make it nice no it's not even Mdu it's Mdu
Mdu I'm fun like when I went up appeal I like I wish they were still living. Oh man, this guy like, doesn't speak much, but he's athletic and
well built.
Yeah. And bakona they'll reiterate what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's dope, man.
Ngimazi.
Yeah, that's really dope.
But that whole movement of manje tupzukungum zonke lezi abathandisa yonke yenzeka around the spaces.
Yeah.
I chose DJing because one I couldn't sing, but my
you also couldn't do the
gymnastics, the dancing. I've okay, so can't dance for shit. But I'm great at other things, though. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can put everybody in the middle. I can put and make somebody feel comfortable. That's the one thing. Is to make somebody feel comfortable in a space that is not theirs. So now, Mbuso, I mean, obviously now, I think the idea is there. You're a DJ, you're already starting to collect records. There's a certain movement now that you're doing. Now comes a name that I want to bring forth called BFR. How do we get to BFR?
Scale.
Okay.
Scale. Like I was listening to Spoo the other day, and he kept saying, because I'd been doing this thing now for some time. Now I'm doing events. Doing.
This is prior to BFR. You're doing events
in high school.
Yeah.
In high school, I started.
Which high school is this?
In Mondio High. Mondio High. I'm doing.
So this is Ngamleni serious.
Like cheese boy one like cheese boy works. I'm going cheese boy next.
Yeah,
I'm going like give me going to a Model C school is like no dude. I got my brother that goes to a private school, but the lifestyle is the same. Everything is, but I appreciated what I had, and I was like I'm still hooking up with brothers from the hood.
Hood niggas.
Yeah, hood niggas. And young kids ngenza so senza I'm a bash, like I'm a bash. How did you get there? Like through selling mixtapes and reinvesting in yourself, and parents going overseas and just buying you records and buying yourself records and like so. When you think of a name, Boston Flavor Records, I'm thinking Brian. Look, it's hard for me to say all these things on social media. Ukuthi nje ucabanga into ngifuna ukwenza ibhizinisi ngina 16 since ngikhule kanje ngifuna ukuthi nje igama lithi ngibukela abo Source Magazine beka na internet internet ethi buku Source Magazine ne magazine empahla bala Tsepo and meeting I'm sorry guys like this is a show but yep and going to you were doing your own things even at that point like but did we know that we'd be here? Some of these things started like when we were in Part High School, but like the eventuality of them happening were when we were post high school. Uzama ukuncenga usipane Bramfontein kwenye indawo ingama ku graphic design studio basuthinela amajita ama flyer bafita ningini angani clip ngizonenzela ama flyer so wonke lama event la wenza next thing did I know there'd be over 5,000 people outside my house? Nope, but it started happening so we're doing all these bashes but because you work hard for something like we spoke like Abomandoza and Abobanbana, everyone else, it was a trail leading. So manje singine mkotlanyana, we used to work for nelang etap before figure time zokaitao. Before figure, na itao, na into ubemnandi. But like this is how we here. Mafika early, ngozokunika ikona lakho, nginika ikona lakho. But we're all superstars. Aksi Mbuso is superstar. Each song is a superstar.
But this is the idea. Is this the idea happening around Boston Flavor Records?
Because we're all Boston flavored records.
Okay.
Because everything that we do, not just me, everybody else is just making something. So I just wanted to come up with a name that represents everybody, not just me.
You pass the flavor.
We're just a flavor. Like when you come to my house, you just pass your own flavor.
That's dope. Okay. That's really
just
dope.
pass your own flavor. You know, like just pass your own flavor. I wasn't thinking like I just want a record label. That's why it was BFR. But we weren't making records then. We were trying to make records.
Can you mention? I mean, for someone that doesn't know, you know, because I don't think a lot of people know about Boston Flavor Records. They know about Soulcandi, yes, they know about Phezulu Records. But Boston Flavor Records, I mean, the idea behind that, you know, can you who are some of the people, the core people in that movement?
How me and you, Brian, also met. My brother does hair. I love music. So he cuts people's hair. I'm selling mixtapes. I've got all the gangsters. All the gangsters.
So gangsters they're buying music from
me. Everything like every.
So he's taking business away from Abu Kanyan and they're going to his.
I'm a taxi. Ahlala pagile la. Mabafungeza something great. Mabafuna music. Wonke umuntu uzagim for music. It's style like young tiha manje. Great can. Hari most around the gym. He platform. He platform in this thing. And the Chromalam Ninja Linswembu nginwele. Yabona le combination layer.
There's like a multimedia sub-type thing that's happening there. You know?
A multimedia game is style. So from when we were in high school to Ubano around, mothi nje sinini unukubona uThebe unukubona ngiyakhuluma ngokuthi nje abo brand like when we're old like masikhuluma ngabo BFR sengikhuluma ngabantu aba relevant
in that time, yeah.
In that time abo Thebe nabo Jozi bashaya around abo banibani yabo wonke ama Grootman between the gangster and the one that's funky yabona ukuthi nje yonke uThebe ngilethela ama record ngiyafaka uma mixtape ayahamba yabo like but like now Kwaito is really like when we say Kwaito then Kwaito wasn't because it wasn't it happened by fluke like I don't know for a lot of people like before it was called Kwaito it was international music. We were taking house records and slowing them down basically.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah. And singing over instrumental house records, which is where I show that picture of Chiskop.
Yeah.
I'm calling you.
Yeah.
If anybody knows the original. Zonke lengoma lezi mongathi uyazazi zonke is the beginning of original Kwaito.
Yeah.
The X House records. You know, people were singing over everyone was singing over house tunes. So from BFR going to school and like now how do we get to Soulcandi? To be specific, see, when you get to BFR, we are more defined into we are house head. I've established a team of people that are into house music.
I want to know who the team is.
Yeah, the team is the speakers, guys like Mutsumi, like I'm hustling there and there, like Zola, in Pinball.
DJ Mutsumi.
DJ Mutsumi, guys like Glamu.
Soul rest in peace, man.
You know, like do that one, but like very integral. Mutsumi in terms of finding the sound system, Glamu, Mavosana. Kanyan has always been a mentor.
Overlooking and just saying,
like,
boys,
like,
you're on the right track.
Like you're on the right track. And kumulugut phela sitisteba movement yakhe. He's the king of Soweto. And Mbuso is like this young kid. Mina ngihlanganisa wonke umuntu ukuthi nje asivule any crew ukuthi nje mawuse Orlando West mafuni sound melubela mawuse Zola ekumtsumi mawuse Pimville ekwasibanibani wakumele
like a connect, right?
Connect wakumele like an Uber type thing ukuthi wakumele move izinto like zasinda uthap and asicalling you get by so why should you be moving as long as you know Klamo in Pimville you could Klamo no voice it's a hlanganisana sound bafethu ngiyasipana vandag asisipani vandag okay now umgutla asisipana ushota ngasamning sonke asihlanganeni sonke. So this is where I come in. So the BFR, I'm like, you guys are SOS Sons of Soweto. My brand is going to be bigger. BFR. And I know other people in town. And I say mapanga kuphela yamihambelana namapansula.
Okay.
Yeah, ngambelana manje that's East Rand, and we're gonna start as a Soweto movement, and it's gonna grow into I don't know what was I thinking, but I just felt confident that I can convince everybody to believe in what I'm trying to achieve.
So, Mbuso, now, you know, obviously BFR is established. Then comes the station called YFM, right? And I asked you this earlier on. How did that happen? How did YFM happen?
Technicon, Valtech, yeah, Valtech. So, because of the sound system and the BFR movement already happening in Soweto, so I went to go study there, which I hated in the beginning. So I'm there, and I get part of the radio station, and I'm trying to help start a station. As I was studying,
campus radio.
Campus radio. Valtech, yeah. You know, like for me, I just looked at it as a stepping stone, and the same movement that I bought from Soweto, I took into the Val. Like now, Val is in Vanderbilt Park. More make us booking Sharpeville, what. Ngazi mesa na machita akudala, like the same movement is the same. Grand. Yabona cause mansiskela wonke umuntu ifirst year understand ukuthi akuna movement like marmoto uyekasi njani nyana uyabona ukuthi khambani and it's like Soweto, like Kranka, and Valley in a movement, like here I met guys like Nelson, what? No, I actually did not meet them. I introduced myself into them. Ngale tinkane Soweto, ngale tinkane Soweto, like not tinkane, but uklonipa, because more klonipa, I can tell you your side.
But you put yourself in circles that mattered in that section of town.
Yeah, weekend is to man. So mina ngisaskela yabona into zenzeka amachita makana ngisenzakala ekasi sokala skela and ngiletha ama professionals and kune budget nyana khumule phela I budget eskela allows you to bring Glenn Lewis brings Glenn Lewis, brings Fresh on radio, brings that one and that one and that one. Can bring Athama Fukate, because I know these guys. I can bring TKZ into rhythm and take a much that's a kasi. Now they get to perform at a varsity kasi and scaler. As man can perform Yamalia Mahala. You know, so that whole rhythm, and when now I get called. Because Fresh was doing his YFM Made of Hour.
Made of Hour, yes. Remember Made of Hour?
Yeah, Made of Hour. And I was just winning. No. Actually,
on the competitions?
Yeah, on the competition. I was winning.
Bonok.
No. Like I won everyone. The toughest one was with QT.
Okay.
Was it like the final one?
No.
But you were up against
like now we were moving.
Knockout stages.
Yeah, knockout stages. Like the toughest one was with Michael G and Gwabakoni load shedding. There was no load shedding then, but we had load shedding.
The lights just went off.
Yeah, went off. And I believe
like
Michael, if there was no load shedding, I promise you could have won.
Shout out to Michael G.
Yeah, shout out to you, and I dig you and respect you. We still respect each other, but the odds, like there's a time where just the odds are
in your favor.
In your favor. I don't know how it happened, but everything was just in my favor.
Yeah.
I could say I worked hard for a lot of things.
Cape, Baba.
I could say a lot of things work hard, but it's just everything was in my favor. And I don't think, there's a lot of hard work, but there's moments where you just, when you sit back alone and you're like, how is this happening? How is this happening? How is this happening? And like now QT, it was like, it was like Mavusane is his bigger brother. I would have liked to be in a competition because, like,
shout
I'm
out
saying,
to the SOS crew,
exactly. And now we in the, everybody loves each other. Like music is music, but like these are you want to win against somebody that you admire too. There's no winning against your non-competitor.
Doesn't feel like
you've won like anything. You know, like it's like a one-on-one. And QT, his brother peps him up, Mavusana. And we get on with QT very well right now. And he was like, no, I want a rematch. I was like, buddy, but if there was camera and everything, Fresh would tell everybody a story. And I did a trick, and Fresh just went, oh my God, I wish you could be here. You should see what Mbuso's just done. I mixed the record on a flip. I went on the other side and I did a trick, because there was no visual.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and Tepa was like, everybody was like in the studio, like, yo, bruv, how can you take a record from normal speed to 45 and you go, if you got HOD, and he goes, go, and why? Then it goes,
so this is Rip Group 99 and GOD.
Fresh just goes, he presses him and says, oh my God, you should have seen. But you should have seen how I did it.
Fresh is telling Michael.
Like,
no, he's announcing it on air. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael was another story. Like, now this is QT. There's something like in the 2 days where it was like the most challenging things. How do we get to like now before like now Soulcandi is in brewing, and in a couple of weeks. So this competition, that was the last competition actually I had with QT. I never wanted to do another competition because Sony Music called me and they're like, no, we'd like to do a competition.
Right?
Your compilation.
Urban House Sounds.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Yeah, and
Urban House Mix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, no, because me winning this thing means I get to do a compilation. And
That was the price for the
That's
mad
the
half
price.
hour, right?
price for the mid half hour,
Yeah.
and it comes with I think a bit of money.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like now, on the side, I've got something that I can do me, and if I win this one, so I get to do two. Yes, it's a great thing.
Wow.
But I'm like, nope, I don't want to be. Let me stop now. Let me stop now.
Okay. So you stop with the idea of you
Continue.
going into Sony and releasing a compilation, right?
No, I continue with the Sony deal.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I start competing.
With the mad half hour.
mad half
And
hour.
Yeah.
And I tell Fresh, I'm like, thank you for the opportunity.
Let me bow out.
Let me bow out right now and let somebody else win.
That's big, eh? So in essence, the DJ competition is happening. You end up being the winner, right?
I'm like a winner of all the competitions that I've been in. I've never lost one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I get a phone call from Sony that now wants to make a compilation for me. So then I think I'm like, oh my God, what does one do? I did not even go to the next one. I just
that part of the competition, right?
I think I called Fresh. I said I can't because my deal is set. Yeah, you know, like let you, because like Fresh was doing something great for the start of YFM to uplift DJing. DJing. It's, you
The
know,
culture.
Like, the culture of dance music. Rude Boy Poyo was doing hip hop, hip hop pop, and Fresh is doing house competitions. But it was uplifting us as DJs. You know, like we've got half an hour to compete amongst ourselves, and it makes us better as human beings because it's actually challenging you as a human being to become better every single week. And ukumbula time ngaleso sikhathi asinamali kodwa amaningi we just
You work with what you have, yeah.
And kumele uhambe uyoboleka ku-WVX nokubani just to have the set happening. And like now I'm given an opportunity to make this compilation. It's like what I'm gonna win. So
I'm cutting myself off this.
myself off this.
Let me focus on this opportunity that's been presented at me.
Makes sense.
Right.
Exactly,
Which is
yeah.
big of you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know, big up for that,
Yeah.
you know.
And I was like, okay, that's that. Cool.
So it's safe to say that had you not gotten that Sony deal, you would have won that competition anyway.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Yep.
Yeah.
But when I say yep, I'll tell him between Michael G and QT.
and QT.
Oh, that was the toughest one.
Yeah.
Like it was 8 to 9. Like and these are people that I respect in terms of DJing. But this was before I got a deal to work for IFM.
Yeah.
To do
That's what I wanna focus
on. The Saturday night with Thomas.
With Bad Boy T.
With Bad
At
Boy
the
T
time.
and Lady D.
How did that happen?
So this happens in the 2 weeks as I'm saying no to this one thing. And now I say no to something else and another door opens to say,
Sure.
Ready D.
Talk about
like Ready D,
Zimhlophe.
the song is missing. Yo, Chico. Chico, like now I have to Ready D. I have to be working with Ready D every single weekend.
Wow.
Watching him live, not in a nightclub. I have to see him doing all his checks.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to ask him because I've heard him on another station.
Yes.
So now I get to spend every single time with this guy, you know. Like, and
So it was a Saturday between?
between 8 and 10. So it was a show between 8 and 10. So Ready is from 8 to 10, and I was 10 to 12, I think. Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
a 2-hour set of watching Ready D mix.
Yeah. So here's a story that I have concerning that, right? So the big
No,
picture.
it was I think it was 6 to 8. Ready. Then I was 8 to 10, because something like that.
Yes. So the story there is the competition, because what YFM used to do was that the winner would get to have a DJ knockout at the electric workshop, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how DJ Tira got to be the one that's gonna partake in that competition. So Mbuso is no longer taking, he's no longer part of the competition, right?
I forgot about that.
And he goes on air, And he says, guys, I am not playing at the DJ Knockout Electric Workshop. But if I had to play there, this is the set that I was going to do.
On whose show is this?
Bad Boy T.
Bad Boy T, yeah.
I
Oh
tell
my
you,
God,
Wax, I've had the highest bit of respect for Mbuso as a DJ. But when I heard that set, I felt this guy is beyond our DJing level. He has just gone the next level.
Brian,
That set was just...
Brian, you took me back. Remember, you mean the day before the final?
Dude!
Like, Tira came to... I was still staying in the hood. I asked Tira.
Shout out to DJ Tira.
Shout out. I said, no. I'm gonna shout it out because you reminded me.
Yeah.
Ekas, yeah. I want to learn good nje. Ukhale ekas nje. I want to learn room.
Yeah.
That room. My
Yeah.
grandmother. Thank you, grandmother. Before Tira and everybody else, he came. Nobody knows who Tira is. And yabachela ngati lenjale. Yadula le.
Yeah.
This guy.
And you know what the thing about that is, Mbuso?
This
at the
guy-
time, because we knew what the times were. Tira is going to be coming at this time. We had the set time. So when Tira was playing, you were playing on air live the same time that he was playing. I tell you this now, my friends. That has been, big bro, that has been for me the highlight of, wow, Mbuso is a great DJ, guys. Like you absolutely, because I couldn't even go to the DJ Knockout thing because it was so packed and I couldn't go. But when I heard that, I felt like I was at the Electric Workshop. Shout out to you, DJ Mbuso.
Tira is like hungry. He can, and that's my figure. My figure Soweto, like he just came home and I'm like, I'll help you with this, but he's got his own plan, and I'm glad that he won.
Yeah.
Not because of obviously I would have been glad because if a Joburg guy, a Gauteng guy would have been asipla ngathi uzolala la awuphumila uzolala eSoweto namhlanje
Uzolala ku-Futon.
sasa uzolala ku-Futon lapho kulala uCharles Webster khona lapho kulala umuntu khona like now istudio sakho ukuthi yeah wonke umuntu abone abamazi akusasa sana make wina sana make
Like,
wina sana
high
make
five,
wina
right?
sana
Yeah.
Soweto is because Soweto was behind me, and not just Soweto, Durban was behind us too.
Because you guys are
It's called
Nihlangene
art.
impintshi,
It's
yes.
the whole country, but it's like our bizarre influence. Ukuthi iJozi kumele ivotele uTira because no vote for Tira because Tira is good. To be honest.
Yeah, man.
Vote for him because
He is good.
He
He's
is
a good DJ. So obviously, so is that where the idea of Soulcandi starts being planted into your mind? Because obviously your partner was a white guy, Harel Salko,
Yep, it was starting. It was starting.
So that conversation, where you guys, did you deliberately sit there and say, dude, we need to start a record label? And how are we going to start this thing?
Did he understand? Did he understand what we were doing? He did. He saw. That's what I'm saying. In between everything, he saw. He went to school with Stagger T. With who's on like it wasn't planned, but like,
He went to L&B.
You went to LNB
Where they were studying
Like all of them.
sound engineering. WHP was
Gerard,
there.
Cleo,
DJ Cleo was there.
They
Yeah.
were friends, yeah. But me and him became buddies, and it happened organically that we decided to, or some guy, Gerard, Afrikaans guy.
Afrikaans guy.
Afrikaans
Picture
guy.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Liburu la liburu.
Yeah, okay. And he's like, and he used to work at the shop that we bought.
Sugar
we
Trax.
bought- It's just Sugar Trax.
Shout outs to
exactly,
Sugar Trax.
yeah.
So Sugar Trax was existing before you guys were part of it.
Soulcandi, yeah. And we started become. Remember, everybody has been friends. At Cleo, WHP, Gerard, and a whole lot of other people.
So you guys met at Sugar Trax.
Going to one like and this hard one. Please don't say I forgot your name. He presents the TV show with Somizi. What's his name? Omzwan.
Stone.
On radio or on TV?
On TV.
TV show, on Idols.
On Idols, yeah. Proverb.
Oh, yeah, Proverb
Yeah,
went to L&B.
Yeah, Proverb. Proverb.
Yeah, yeah.
But he came much later.
From Kimberley.
From Kimberley. So they introduced me to Proverb. That's why I'm saying it's hard for me. But it's not like that I forget him.
So you guys met at Sugar Trax?
At Sugar Trax.
Okay.
All of this movement.
Yeah.
Proverb. So everybody's like now they're growing up and like now Proverb like they're like no he's dope, but like they gave him the platform. They're like please listen to his stuff too. I went to Sony and to look for a deal for him, and my friend Temba said, "I'm not ready for this." I said,
For Proverb.
I said,
What a miss.
I said, what a miss.
So where do you get Proverb from?
So they're all coming
shop.
to
to
Sugar Trax, yes.
Even Pro is coming there.
They're hanging out there,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
I've got a spot where everybody can just hang in and just play their
Yeah, I
demo.
used to come
and
there
the
too.
ideas. Yeah, exactly.
We all used to go there,
Yeah.
but you know, I think we all went there different times, and I think you know, for the people that were going there a certain time, you know, certain things I believe they happen for a certain reason, and maybe they met there and something big was starting, and
meant to
you know what I'm saying. So I think that's what was
basically,
going on. You know?
and smartness. You know, like big up to you can say a lot of people. Cleo, you know that I dig you. To DJ Cleo, like it's like no dude. There's some guy at school also. He's like please listen to his stuff, you know, because like we were making, and everybody gave each other like. You need to remember when I say Proverb, there's a lot of other people that are doing, but I don't like you know when you take somebody like you are.
This
phenomenal.
one feels special.
Yep.
Yeah.
Out of range.
Yeah.
I go to Sony and I tell some guy, I said, "Fuck you, you gotta sign this." My friend says, I'm not signing this."
Yeah.
Do you know how
Heartbreaking, yeah.
I feel like I'm a superstar? I'm like, "Please sign this."
I see something in here.
I see something in here.
So big. Yo, this is interesting fun, I know. So you know, I just relayed a story about the YFM competitions, right? So in the midst of the whole YFM thing, you're starting to gig overseas, you know, you're starting to gig all over the country and abroad. And in the times that I was interacting with you at the time, I know you were doing a lot of Paris, right? You were playing a lot in Paris, right?
Or France.
France, you know.
Who is French now?
Yeah. And you actually can speak French, you know.
Like you are listening to Mbuso on YFM. This is DJ Jeff
Yes. And your relationship with Jeff K. Shout out to Jeff K. Right? Big producer in Paris, right? So when you are gigging there,
I need to move back.
Yeah.
I would like to give thanks to Phezulu, number one, and Greg Maloka.
Yeah.
For making that opportunity.
Yeah.
Because we stopped at when I left during the competition.
Right.
So now this opportunity arises because them as gentlemen, as they were moving the idea of YFM, and but like they saw my fit into the rhythm of where they wanting to move, like towards a young black culture into the station. Then we can move forward. Then we can speak about
what is now known as the Afropolitan, right?
Yep.
Right. So you know, you establish a relationship with Jeff K. Take me through some of the most memorable times that you had in Paris. You know your interactions with the French people, because the French are known for and they're known for not being friendly towards people who can't speak French, right? You go there as a boy from Ezondi, Orlando West, and now you are in this world. You know, you're on your own. You know, you don't know anybody there, and you're there you've got a bunch of records. You have to go play there.
It wasn't my first time going overseas.
Yeah.
However, like it was shocking, because I need to, that's how, and especially because ingam now was so people.
Yeah.
Ngala squad benga sa being.
Yeah. Apartheid iphumile emzimbeni.
Confidence level. Yeah, so how much is that? No, I went like airport to time for Anglande, because it rained, Grankan, it rained Siazi from
Epaki.
no siyazi from ekasi ukuthi nje akusinto egibelwa and mase sifika kwinye level ukuthi mara mina ngikazi ngibele train
Yeah.
because mara ngayifunda naseLondon like first time like see that was an experience of my train so we're going to move I'm going to move fast forward into so any prime engame no to the first time walking to England down Heathrow it's like no you have to go this way and bank
via the train
like no social media no nothing it's like but MB like I'm like I tell him I'm like you Troy didn't like I'm like your
shout
buddy
out to Troy
Troy didn't it says no you go down literally me bang a map you go to yeah ukuthi how to travel ay bese masangifika lapha first time mina mangilanda ngibona kahle ukuthi no
wait via one man
yeah
you're alone in this is the UK right
yeah this is the UK the first time doing an international trip alone isibindi sithi qung and besibshayela izolo sibikudlala sami so isibindi sesekhona but after 12 hours like after flying 12 hours uba sober mar angithi isibindi is grand and because like then I'm part brand you know like I want to say part brand I want to fly nabo abo sestere flying SAA bakuphethe kahle uyabshaya omnandi and the enthusiasm ukuthuka kuyehla kwehla bakushayisa ama thought like but nje when you land there's nothing as scary because more ngazi usibona snow
nice
uyasibona sesila
so uyeranga winter uyeranga
new winter
kanjani uzawakutshela ukuthi hey winter ngade
All star ngadlala
ngicoko manje sengimdala manje ngalesi sikhathi bengayicoko
so you go to Paris and Paris is known for beautiful women
and yeah stop
did you meet any beautiful women there
bro
okay cool go back
I'll move forward
mina ngithanda lezi zaboshi
ngathi during the time bengena stock
yeah I want to wake us so jwayela angithi manje like now it's like I'm sengizwayela ingami yonke into iyahamba yonke into ihamba ngohlelo
apartheid
like ngohlelo ngikhohliwe ngeapartheid ngikhohliwe ngayo yonke into so but moya kwenye indawo ikubuyisela back to lapho uqale khona
yeah
50 pounds ugrade train from ngathi mina nyang grade train maybe it takes yo what 50 I think it was like 54 pounds
because the train was just too low level for you right based on where you are from
yeah where I'm from because ngithi angazi nyeng ngizocala manje
yeah
and ngale sikhathi I think ngiphethe umkotla like ngiphethe esikhwameni ngiphethe ama travelers checks ngiphethe
but what's that money for expenditure are you buying stuff there
this is like starting Soulcandi
right so you've gone there with your stock
yep
I'm a record right okay
so in this rhythm and that scared me the most on the other side of the fence after spending 50 pounds like I find my friend was sitting on the other side where I'm booked he says to me how did you get here I thought we were supposed to meet by the tube
yeah
I'm talking
the tube is the train system right
yeah tube
yes
angithumele ufike endaweni bese umfonele
yeah
ngithi cell phone less yabona ukuthi cell phone bemnadi
public phone
yeah public phone so you get to the hotel your room then you start calling it about sengifike yeah but I'm from boss slide not downstairs ngazi izinja zenzeni bhek intwana zengamla not sizabutha ezengamla sizikim okay asivase se training estop amatikiti train sengibuyisela back to airport sithi ube nesibindi so great train next time
from airport to
because more bathi wonke umuntu mawuhlika make train especially because bathukile abayazi bavele mabephuma train balahlela itikiti phansi mara this is a two-way ticket yazi imali out time 5 pounds when I'm spending money close to about 54 pounds, Brian, that's when then you understand the value of money. Because mind if pound in my thing, I think it was $12.
Yeah. But still a lot.
Yeah, it's still a lot. Mind you understand, it shows you how to save. Because first day, I'm 2 weeks. My welcoming into London City.
Bamfigis.
Ngafikiswa intwana ezigrand ezingifundisa estrati not ubucheesy bangifundisa ubucheesy after lento le
bangifundisa istrati sangalo
istrati sangalo ukuthi khamba kanje la mot itaxi asambe this is a tube like
Asho wena sho ngeaccent ke basojinjile
vele
sasikhipa amakhala
uvana intwana ezingamla like overseas besuvana intwana zingamla.
So basically they teach you how to maneuver around the UK using the tube, right?
The city they teach me how to maneuver the city.
Yeah, it's that tourism bullshit. We get it. Yeah.
And like, what are you here for? You're looking for records because that was the mission.
Yeah.
I'm starting Soulcandi.
Yes.
How was it double sentence?
So that made it easy for you to then transition from moving to playing at the UK, getting records from the UK, and then now moving to Paris, right?
Yep.
You know, take me through to, some of the places that you were playing there, because the place that we know as South Africans is Dijon, right?
Yeah.
We know Dijon as the place that everyone is playing, but what were the places that you were playing at, that we don't know about?
The what?
Dijon.
The what? Okay. I grew up under Rex Club.
Right.
Listening to Courage China.
Right.
He's from New York, like playing at the Rex.
Right. Wow.
Now, has Mbuso?
Yes.
He gets to play at the Rex.
Sheesh.
It is Mkuku. Basically, I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
It's a dope place now.
Yeah.
Bruv.
So how's that?
I was like umamilingoma too back in the deep.
Yes.
When I'm at the Rex.
Yeah. And now you are there. I'm there. I'm playing at the Rex. He's there, bro.
Like I'm going to the Rex.
This guy.
Angisasabi ukusuka airport noma bathi it's worse now in Paris because like now you can't do the same trip thing because of the language difference.
Yeah.
No French. It's just Rudy. What? Ru.
Cross.
Ru. Like you. My friend said to me, Jeff said, do you want to come to Paris? But you have to buy your own flight. You come stay in my home. Like you stayed. I took him to Mandela's house. Did you know who Mandela was? Nope, he didn't.
Later on, obviously, he's gonna.
Now you appreciate that, right?
now we can speak about oh my God, Mbuso took me to Mandela's house.
Wow.
So I was sleeping on the couch with Nelson Mandela's bedding. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
How's your relationship now with Jeff K?
It's still the same.
Yeah.
Still the same. And a lot of people, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got to meet people in that rhythm. In that rhythm. You know, he could do his things. Angshina machita. At no autumn. It's a language barrier. However, like we just can get on. We can get on. Like it's our fungenzan. Do you like clothes? Like
the language barrier will never.
Yeah, we'll never stop. I
want to get to
the culture. The culture.
Yeah.
The culture and the music and so I get to go to studios. I get to do this. Then I get to do that. Then I get to do that. Then I'm like, oh, all in a short space of time because this is what that intrigues me. I want to see Pop Sinclair. I want to do.
Did you meet them?
Yes.
Shit, who else did you meet though?
A lot, like a lot that I could mention, like Lauren Garnier.
And he was here in the country. I actually gigged with him when he was here. I think in 2014. Cool guy.
In between that whole afternoon thing, he said, when you come to the party later, please just bring maybe 4 about 10 of them.
Bring something home.
Yeah. But maybe in between, if ever space allow,
Change the thing.
Change the thing.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
What was the response?
Insane.
Crazy.
Insane because I'm going to mix it.
Yes.
Because I'm going to mix it in your house. Like.
So while you're at that, is it true though? Because I remember I spoke to China about that as well, and he was telling me when he was gigging at the UK, they were actually still intrigued by the fact that we still take mixing seriously. Tina, yeah, like Bona, they're like, you mix, guys, you mix music. Is that really true, guys?
Okay, I'm gonna speak about like where we come from.
Yeah.
Then we could speak about like even in the UK, mixing always important. Parisians around the crew of people that I was with.
Yeah.
I mean, Aglalwa, and cinema.
There's no room for horse
Yeah,
there.
there's no room for horse there.
Yeah.
There's no room for horse, bruv. Like,
You get judged.
And like it's the first time I saw a blind person mix records. I saw many things that felt impossible. First time I saw like this bling bling of champagne and but it's just the mixing, the craft, because more than anything it was the craft. Angingiza out mix. So and it's not about it, because if I do it right, our country is seen in the right way.
As you said presidents, right?
Said president Eric Rugg and the guys that I mentioned, like it's, you know, do you understand playing Kabelo Minch in Paris, like balele basi mixing wang 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 wang.
You come back from Paris, Soulcandi is growing its roots now in terms of, you know, the record store in the country, and you know, take me through that experience now. Like now you own a reputable record store, because you think about it, the biggest store at the time was House Africa. Now you come back and you give House Africa this competition. It's not even competition now. There's variety in terms of stores that people can buy music from, right? How was that experience for you?
West Side first, then Soweto second, then everything else. Vinita Vinci.
Shout out to Vinita Vinci. We all love Uncle Vin.
And shout out to a lot of people, Glenn Lewis and everybody. So what I'm gonna say now. Compilations.
Yeah.
They were making compilations.
Yeah.
So before we, and now I take myself out. Remember, I spoke about me doing compilations with majors. So how I got robbed, and thank you to Glenn Lewis to giving me the headlight to now to say it is not as easy.
Yeah.
For somebody to take their phone and call you and say, it's not as gloomy. It is not as gloomy.
But then you come up with one of the biggest compilations.
Wait, before we get there. So when we started Soulcandi, so the first compilation we ever did was Kabzela.
Yes, Mikonko.
Mikonko. We look at Mikonko. At the back of Mikonko, you'll see a Soulcandi emblem.
Oh yeah.
You'll
Rest
see
in peace, Kabzela. So, but then it came up under Share Music, right?
Under Share Music, and a small little brand called Soulcandi. A small little brand, Soulcandi.
That was mixed at
and a small little brand called Phezulu.
And Phezulu Records.
Oh, was it there already?
Wow.
No way.
So Phezulu Records was already in existence. Oh, okay.
Phezulu came before Soulcandi. It's just that Soulcandi flowed in my mouth. I knew it could work with white people. It's something that's easable to sell, and I'm in partnership with everyone. So it's
palatable.
It's palatable. So me and my friend Harold Salko, like I said to you early on with Cleo, he went to the same school with Cleo and
LNB.
everybody at LNB, but he was the only white boy that was in between this whole. With a whole bunch of
white boy with black soul.
With black soul.
Yeah.
you see, when you say black soul, you see that soul thing just comes naturally. And he comes with his friends, but like he likes hanging with me. So we start partying together, actually.
Yeah.
We start partying together. So when we got to meet Mark that owns Share.
Yes.
Share Music. But I know, Mark, I know, because I'm in the industry already. But underground, and these are people that are into underground music. How do you describe underground? You know, like is Moloko underground?
What's underground? There is a house track.
Yeah.
AC Anthem. What is underground?
Yeah. Like you know, Moloko and everything. I'm in a space of educating myself, so I'm in the money. Like now, like in the money. And
So was this was this the time now that you were starting to realize money?
I'd seen it.
Prior to Soulcandi?
No. I'm saying in the making of Soulcandi.
Yeah.
It's like remember, Nick, when you've got zero, or like no, you don't have zero, but you've got you've got a bit more.
And your bank account suddenly has 800,000.
Yeah. Like, so manje, so you confidence, because it's all confidence. You know, it's confidence is gone. You can walk into a record company. You don't have to be standing in a queue. You can speak to the people directly. But I stopped that. I was like, nope, I'm not going into a record company. Why do you have to go to a record company? I actually want to start mine. We got the opportunity to do Kabzela, Mekongo.
Yeah.
You know, like when you listen to the album, you're like, whoa. And in that rhythm of making that album, we started making our own house produced tracks, locally produced house music, not competing with Kwaito, not respecting my big mentor Oskido and his rhythm.
But that compilation, how much of it was local content and how much of it was international? 50-50?
And I think maybe 20% local.
Okay.
And the
80% international, right?
Like
it was an introduction.
Like 2% of that, 20% of that was our music. Because like we weren't like as much as we were confident with our music.
Early days, right?
Early days, it was hard for me to convince other people that this is gonna work. Because everybody else wants to go Kwaito.
But you have to do it gradually, right?
Gradually, and I could see that this is happening.
Yeah.
I
There's
felt
no
it.
denying it, right?
Felt it. Like my friends, Revolution. I'd seen money through Revolution. They're like, no, Mbuso, you gotta start doing your own.
Shout out to Revolution.
Yeah. You know, George and Joseph. You know, like.
So much
You know. So these things are happening. How much they can see for September. Like these are.
Shout out to Mavusana there.
You know.
So, but obviously it was DJ Walker, right?
DJ Walker, yeah. But we strategize on how you name a record, who must fall into a record, who must start publishing and like you can ubani owner iface yalento leyo. Omunye umuntu akafuna ukuba famous, mara lento le yenziwe. Mar kahle kahle mina sengidumile already and sent ngalesa sikhathi manje like ukuthi ubani, like we're helping each other in so many ways. And like I mean really Kabzela was popular in so many ways.
Was that the reason why you opted to use him for the compilation in Mikonko?
Yeah.
Was it because of who Kabzela was?
To test exactly.
Rest in peace, Kabzela.
Yes, to test the theory that can you do something and create a compilation that is great to compete with House Africa and Vinny and them and not fall into that whole jazzy and go more funky in a certain way. Respecting what Vinny and them are doing. Not competing with it. Compete with it in a market. In a market.
Yeah.
Good ETA.
We are here.
Yeah, when you consider a night like in a club, you can hear so much music. There's early music, there's that type of music. So I saw that vision. There's certain songs that people aren't playing, but they have a potential of being commercial.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because that's the question that I get all the time. Did you guys make money from releasing compilations?
It's done.
So yes, but my question then is...
Did you make money?
Yes.
Is it life-changing money? Like, nope.
Okay. So there wasn't a lot of money, but it was just money to sustain you guys, right?
To believe that what you're trying to do will make money.
Will make sense, right?
We got actually, I can go clean and say, what do you guys want? We could have been offered like a check to say you can have this much money.
Yeah.
Whether 100K back then was a lot of money.
Yeah.
We opted not to. We opted for 1% of the whole album because you don't know what
1% can amount to.
Exactly. So
that leads to the next phase where now you are like, okay, right, I've introduced this 20% of
1%.
local 1%. of local content, right?
Just
And
one,
then
just
I
one,
re- yeah.
just one.
Right? Now I release my own song. And the song you release is Soweto Funk. Soweto Funk was so it was an album,
Okay,
right?
it's much later. Like we have to go back. We have to go. Soulcandi, the first Soulcandi album.
Sessions one, yeah.
Sessions one was did not have Soweto Funk. Soweto Funk was
Right.
my album. So we did.
But it did have Ngonyana.
Yeah, Hela Ngonyana, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You know what? I actually have that record.
Maluleke Street.
Maluleke Street.
I-
Shout out to Tira, man.
Gerard, yeah, exactly. It was a movement. See, the production from Kabzeda, it was to intro, and Gerard is a hit producing artist with Cleo, and he stood by our side.
On Soulcandi Sessions 1, you had Ngonyana, you had Maluleke Street, right? Obviously, then there was Soulcandi Session 2. But for me, the big compilation for you guys must have been Soulcandi Sessions 3. That was the 3-disc compilation.
Yep, that's when now I'm Phezulu. I'm not
So
Soulcandi.
you were out there. Okay.
Yeah,
You were out
yep.
at the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so you were out by then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I set up a label, like we said, Kabzela was off. Actually, like in the whole rhythm, if you look at it, like a 1%. So we start doing the first Soulcandi's soul compilation, which is not 1%. It is 100% our music. 1%. It took 1 year to just move into the rhythm. Just you want to get into a space.
Yeah.
You want to get into a space, but we knew our math. We knew everything that we were doing. Like we're not about the fame. I'm setting up my soldiers. I'm setting up my producers to say when it goes 50%. Remember, like now the production level, computers were coming into fashion, and now mastering. Like guys did not know how to produce and mix stuff, and we were starting to do all of this locally. But it's very strange. That's where Troy Lily comes in. Like everything was just setting up. 2 years at a time. Angikhulumi ngeminyaka. Ngikhuluma nje 2 years. Rhythm yento ihambayo. So when
Who made Soweto Funk? Like like who composed it? Like the composition the first day. What the fuck was going on?
So I was learning how to, in between this whole rhythm of now being big boss of Soulcandi. Soulcandi, remember PFR still exists.
It's still there.
It's still there. The hood is doing its own thing.
Yeah.
I'm head honcho at PFR offices in Soweto,
Yeah.
and now I know Tira and everybody. So we're doing cross pollinating around my own space. I don't sleep. I'm up and down, going up and down between this and this and this. Soweto Funk is a great record.
Shit.
Yep. And it came at some point where I'm having my second born Ndalo, and we're from a club and we're doing. Yes, the world, the country loves. I don't know how to explain it. However, it came with love. Could be like commercially, yes, one of my best records. One of my best records, maybe Mbusos Revenge.
But you have to admit, Mbuso, that
it's fun with the money part.
Propelled you into.
That's why it's named for
household
Soweto Funk.
name. Like I was saying to you off air that
Yeah.
Even my mom used to dig the song. It just propelled him into that commercial space to say DJ Mbuso, guys.
Yeah, okay.
It propelled you because you once said to me, you want to know how big you are. Go to the corner store and ask a little kid who DJ Mbuso is, and the first thing that's gonna come to them is going
Bum, bum, bum.
Dum. That's what Soweto Funk
is
did for you.
Exactly,
right?
It did for me because I wanted Soweto to remember something that's funky. Something. I actually felt it. I actually felt that. I feel Mbusos Revenge bigger. If you had to ask me.
No, that's true.
Okay,
However, is my favorite.
Yeah. Which one came first?
Soweto Funk.
Nope. Mbusos Revenge came first.
But that, in terms of release.
Yes. Mbusos Revenge is on Soulcandi 1 or 2. And Soweto Funk comes on my separate album.
Wow, come on.
And it's not Phezulu.
It's not Phezulu. It's Soulcandi. How do you cut Soulcandi to become Phezulu?
Yes.
It's always been the same thing. Always been the same thing.
So there was never a beef.
What beef?
Because that's the perception that we all had, that hi Mbuso manje sekegura Now he wants to go and open Phezulu Records. So when you left Soulcandi, you got the blessings from everybody.
Wait, let's go back. See, when we did If Everybody Looks on Trail, when we did Kabzela, the song Amatota. So
What was
Tota.
Yeah.
So it was licensed. We got a deal. In New York, we went to Miami, so we got a deal, international distribution. So that was that. Like I said to my partner, like, let's use Phezulu as our international brand. We use Soulcandi as our local brand, because I believe, like, in time, you know, like it sounds like, you know, this whole
African, yeah.
It's a cool thing to have.
It's sellable.
Yeah, so
To the international market. It's got the African feel.
It's always been the same thing. I never saw Kenny. We never had beef. We just traded firms on who owns this band, and I'm like, you can have this band. I want the other one. Never changed.
So for the record, there has never been a beef between you and Harrell. Soulcandi and Phezulu Records are like brother and sister.
And that's
You
that.
guys are still good.
We're still good. Like, who worked for? Like, if you track your trail history, where did you work?
I worked for Soulcandi.
Yeah, and who worked for Soulcandi?
The same people that went and worked for Phezulu.
Me and Harold party all the time. Like, it's not the people that are involved in the company. If you saw them not being part of each other, Galawa as a movement that is far away from dance music, still can tolerate. Tolerate is the wrong word. Like work with each other. Aspani Mbuso, because Mbuso because Soulcandi manje sekase Phezulu. Sispana sonke I discipline. But what the street says, let the street say whatever they wanna. See, I stand firm on that, and we stand firm on our goal and who strength is. So we've never thought about who did what. All I saw was like, I can break my company into two and say, our cheese boy, let them stick to Soulcandi. Let's make Abo Mikasa via Saring Soul, Abo Mandla, Abo Banban.
Because you've always been about the underground.
I've been about the underground. So here we're moving too cheese, it's moving too fast.